What's going on, guys? It's your boy DJ Skandalous here, and we're back with another episode of Skandalous Talk. For this one, we're going to break down some news that De La Soul, the legendary rap group, passed on signing Tupac Shakur back in the early 90s. Let's get it. Alright, so we're on the O4L online network, and the title reads, Layla Steinberg believed in Tupac when De La Soul did not. And if you guys didn't know, Layla Steinberg was actually Tupac's teacher, I believe back at the Baltimore School of Arts. It was a poetry class, and she became his first manager, and later on got him signed by Atron Gregory, which led to Digital Underground, as well as other artists such as Stretch. Alright, so the article goes on to say Tupac's close friend and former personal assistant Kendrick Wells talks to Cam Capone News on YouTube about De La Soul passing up the chance to sign Tupac after he auditioned for them. He also talks about the early involvement involving Layla Steinberg and Atron Gregory. Kendrick will go on to explain how he met Tupac and the origins of his battle rap days. While in Marin City before superstardom, Tupac was known as MC New York. Kendrick also explained Pac was the best and the content of his raps was different from others. Which I would agree. I would believe like his raps in the early 80s was kind of like LL Cool J mixed with a little Big Daddy Kane. He kind of had a little Rakim essence to him as well. His beats were very much of that time period in the 80s, and you can hear this on Tupac the Lost Tapes, which came out around 2006-2007. But even back then, he was more about engaging his audience as well as giving them a story. And really the roots of Tupac's activism really started back in 1986-1987 when he was at the Baltimore School of Arts in Marin City, taking poetry classes, learned about Machiavelli, the art of war. And you can see this on his 1986-1987 songs that he recorded on a tape recorder that has yet to be released. There's a song on there called Babies Having Babies. That was really the precursor to what became Brenda's Got a Baby after Tupac read about the story in a newspaper. Which is kind of crazy because Lil Half Dead came out and said that Tupac stole the idea of Brenda's Got a Baby from him, even though Babies Having Babies was recorded about 4 years prior to anyone even knowing who Tupac was. Alright, let's scroll down here to when he actually met De La Soul. It says eventually Tupac met Layla Steinberg and started hanging out with her. In turn, she showed him how to present himself more professionally as an artist. Kendrick told a story of how Tupac and Layla took a trip to a show in San Jose where they met De La Soul and Def Jeff. It was here that the young Tupac auditioned for them in a hotel room. Describing this moment, Kendrick says, he spit these great raps and they were like, okay, and kind of ignored him. They had a chance to sign a guy, but Layla still believed in him. Reflecting on the audition, Kendrick believed that they were going through the motions of pretending to listen. He added that they had Tupac Shakur in a hotel room performing for them and they didn't sign him. Maybe one day they'll see one of these interviews and realize they had Tupac they probably didn't even know. Which is kind of crazy because we also heard about the same type of incident happening with Fat Joe and Eminem, and Fat Joe really brushed Eminem off like he wasn't going to be nothing, probably because he was a white rapper. White rappers weren't really significant back then. You had Vanilla Ice, but he was really a one-hit wonder. Marky Mark was pretty much a one-hit wonder as well. There was really no one in the rap game that was Caucasian, which was the big mainstream top-selling artist that had album after album that either went gold or platinum. So Eminem kind of took the ball and ran with it and gave rise to all these white rappers that you see today. So I can see why Fat Joe passed on Eminem, but why De La Soul passed on Tupac is kind of crazy. I guess we'll never know the real reason. But back then, Tupac wasn't he didn't have that gangster image that we all see now. He was just a young kid coming out of high school and still had those activist roots, the Black Panthers and everything else. You can check out Tupac the Lost Tapes. He has songs on there called A Day in Life and Let Knowledge Drop. And these are still songs that are lyrical, storytelling, and it's mostly about his life or events that he's seen around him as well. So it's kind of crazy that he was around 17 and 18 years old around this time period, and he still had that mindset infused with his music. Then they went on to say that Layla, she put Tupac in contact with Atron Gregory, the manager of Digital Underground, which is Shock G and Money B. And from there, Atron allowed Tupac around the studio to go watch Shock G and Digital Underground work. The experience led him to become a roadie, which this led to him actually dancing with blow-up dolls and being a backup dancer, but eventually led also to him opening shows for Digital Underground, as well as recording a verse for the hit song Same Song. So the interesting facts about De La Soul and Tupac actually gave praise to De La Soul on the song Old School, which came out on his Me Against the World album in 1995. So it's kind of crazy that Tupac didn't hold a grudge against De La Soul and didn't even start dissing them on Strictly or Thug Life or anything like that. He just let it go and he gave praise to not only De La Soul but other rappers in the 80s that influenced him, such as LL Cool J, Rakim. And then obviously, he got shot, went to prison, came out, started dissing Biggie, and that's when a whole bunch of East Coast rappers started jumping back on Tupac and dissing him. And then you had LL Cool J doing his remix of Who Shot Ya, which made Tupac actually diss LL Cool J and Lil Homie's the unreleased song He vs. She. Now, urban legend has it that Tupac actually got wind of De La Soul incorporating a look-alike of Tupac in their music video, as well as the backdrop that looks similar to I Get Around, and mostly Tupac took this as a diss due to the overall message of the song as well. And they tried debunking this, saying that it was just a misunderstanding and it just meant that rappers were taking things too seriously in rap business. So then around July and August of 1996, when Tupac was recording the Machiavelli album, he actually made a song called Watch Your Mouth, which not only disses Dr. Dre and Nas, but also disses De La Soul. And it was clear shots against their album, saying me, myself, and I, and they're still 6 feet deep. And this song is still unreleased today. It's a 3-verse solo from that time period. It's an overall diss track similar to Against All Odds and Hit 'Em Up. Anyways guys, drop your comments below how you feel about De La Soul passing on Tupac and Tupac also dissing him in 1996. Thanks for listening. This is DJ Skandalous signing out. Peace out.